Greetings, dear lighted ones. This is Joanna from Universal Love, Light, Wisdom. And we're so happy to join you. I've been challenging myself to step out of my box and my comfort zone so that I'm able to tap into higher and higher frequencies of consciousness creation. We're going to do something fun. Each week, it's been really important for those that have connected and entangled with our teachings, with our private intuitive sessions and our healing, sacred toning, sacred light language. It's been really important for me to offer back and share what I've learned and what I've been offered through the divine and heavenly councils, the councils of light, the ascended masters, the Christ consciousness, source, mother, father, creator, my passion for Gaia consciousness, and how important it is, really, really important for us as a human collective, moving through awakening and moving through ascension into higher dimensional thread potentials. Those vibrational platforms that we all create through our awareness, through our consciousness. All things are consciousness. As we awaken and we explore and we express and we expand, moving farther and deeper, wider and richer into who are we, what do we exist within, and what exists within each and every one of us. As multidimensional beings, awakening to our source soul essence within creation as a universal being, as a universal energy and entity. How important it is that we really create a oneness and a sense of continued awakening and evolving with the planet energies, with Gaia energies, with Terra energies. The spirit of our planet Earth, Terra, her spirit energy is it's called Gaia. We've called her lovingly and adoringly Gaia. That is her spirit energy name. And she, as a planetary body, just like each and every one of us, are particle, holographic particle bodies of Source Creator. And we hold the vibrational particle information that is unique, specific, dynamic, eternal, infinite, creative, all that Source is, all that Source offers. So too is it offered in all planets. All stars, whatever is within the universal omnipresent to that Source Creator is excited to co-create within, and through that blessing of love and joy and exploration, every aspect of life has its blueprint and its excitement to also follow within. And so the awakening of humanity, the awakening of Gaia, the awakening of the grids now connected universally, we are offered such a unique potential to learn and to become more a unified partner relationship with Gaia. And so there's much for us to learn, to co-create with her, to return to more holistic medicinal practices, all that she offers as far as her medicines, all that she offers as far as healing vibrations within the magnetic bodies, the electromagnetic bodies that we are, the magnetic fields that we are operating within as a planetary body structure, all that the consciousness of nature and how it offers to us for rebalancing, for healing, and for our exploration of the wisdom held within consciousness. So we understand that there's consciousness, intelligence within rocks, within mountains, within sacred rocks, sacred land, sacred locations used for generations with different tribes, offering information for those generations to follow. And so part of my role that I've been moving into is to, in part of my sacred land travel, is to bring forward the information and the imprints and the encodations that have been deposited through other tribes and other vibrations multidimensionally to those sacred sites, because it's not only the tribes that walk upon earth that send the information, but it's also the heavenly councils that deposit those encodations through light codes and through vibrational energy for us to pick up on and for us to move and muse about, so that we are integrating oneness with the planet, so that we're ever expanding into the intelligence of nature, and how that also allows us to expand, because we're not separate from our planet. We're one with it. We're one with her. We're one with all that she offers, the intelligence and the wisdom within it. And how may we move in a more expansive, loving, joyful, playful, sacred way, so that we're truly honoring who we are as universal beings, as universal energies, entities, and tapping in with the energy that she offers and the blessings that she offers and the communication. Often in my, for those that don't know me, often in my my channeling work that I've been doing over the many years, Gaia has come through as a consciousness vibration, inner Earth, her frequencies of intelligence and wisdom and love, unconditional love for humanity. And so when I'm coming forth with the information, much of it will be an amalgamation of all energies. It will be many of the heavenly councils that I'm attuned with and working with, the many councils of the universal grids that I'm working with, the heavenly councils, the Christ consciousness, the divine holy creators, and Gaia consciousness, as well as the elementals and the pixies, as you can see, the forests here that I work with. So there are going to be many energies that are going to be coming in our fun offering today. So with that introduction, I wanted to try something new, and this will also incorporate family healing. So we're going to do a weekly offering for those who so desire to connect with a really fun way to just connect and to meet together. Once a week in our Sacred Soul Tribe, I'm going to have a beautiful intuitive reading, and that will include tarot, because I love tarot. It's always been a beautiful tool for me to connect with a myriad of energies. And this is something fun. This is something fun that I wanted to do, to offer to all of those who also are interested in working with nature, who also are interested in working with the sacred tribes that offer us information through inner Earth. The many rainbow masters of light and many of the ancient tribes and the elders that are speaking through nature consciousness. And so we can use tarot for those communications to begin with, until you get your confidence on feeling how the energies feel in your field. As I've said many times, Gaia, for me, when Gaia comes in, and this is just for me, for everybody it's different, when I feel her energy come in, her and I have kind of connected with an energy that comes somewhere from my lower left field. And I just feel her presence move up within me, and then I'll get a vision so that I know that that's her direct energy that I'm connecting with. Although, obviously, her energy is also entangled with everything because we're one. She's connected with the blueprint of the collective human energy, the Elohim creator God's energy, the collective of the Christ consciousness, responsible for the oversight of humanity's ascension under Source Creator, Yod-He, Vod-He, the benevolency of evolutionary programs within our universe. And so every planet has their unique blueprint. Every planet has their unique ascension plan, like Gaia. So as we're awakening in our consciousness awareness, Gaia's consciousness nature fields and all that she is as an embodiment and what she offers to creation, to the galaxy family, to the universal families, she will also be offered expansive energy platforms to play within. So she'll be downloading information planetarily from the consciousness from other planets in our galaxy to assist with the ever ongoing evolutionary process. So it's really important that we move outside of our box as to what awakening and ascension really is. And how can we do that in a really fun way so that we're communing and we're actually entangling with Gaia through our intentions and through our love, how we walk about Earth, how we perceive who we are in entanglement with her, and how can we truly start marrying the ideas of our living sacredly together, in the greater galactic family, universal family, and so on. So I've got some beautiful cards that I wanted to just have a beautiful, fun little reading, and these sessions will be about an hour. And we'll put them on our YouTube channel and share them. And this will offer family healing energies as well. Because I have children, and I've been moving through ascension for so many years, moving through many dynamics that I've taught, and I've written 3 books about the dynamic elegance and the entanglement that we have as energy beings, universal beings, in a universal family, and how ascension and awakening truly opens us up to the vastness of all that we are as multidimensional beings, and how we can begin to live in greater harmony, in greater oneness, in greater self-love and self-honor, truly valuing who we are as humans, universal bodies of energy and physical matter, and truly honoring the communication and the wisdom and the love that's offered for us in all moments. And tarot is a tool, along with many other metaphysical tools, but I've used tarot for many, many years. When I first awoke, I started using tarot. And I have many, many tarot decks because it's a way for me to work energy through my body, because I use my hands a lot. So if I'm sitting down, then I'll just start shuffling, because it's just a way for me to work energy through my body to continue the energy flow. Just as crystalline children really use a lot of hand crafts, the braiding and the knitting, so that their hands stay busy and the energy is moving through. So I've often asked my kids if they want to shuffle my cards for me, just to keep their energy moving. And getting them used to also working with tools so that they can direct their energy. And so we've set sacred space here, as we do every morning. We call the etheric chamber in, and the etheric chamber is opened with our many universal councils, the star councils of light, the councils of light, and the Christ consciousness, and the Elohim and the creator gods, and Gaia is, yes, here with us. Thank you, precious Gaia, our precious divine mother. And she's very grateful and thankful for us to be connecting with her offerings in a creative way, and she thanks us for offering. And she's asking me if I'm going to sing and do some toning, and absolutely I will. We'll perhaps talk about this in our offering. Some of us have come forward with the imprints, the soul blueprint imprints of sacred wisdom held within sacred sound and tones and light language, and it is one of my soul's offerings that source creator, that many of the lifetimes that I've had is opening to me through my DNA and through many of the Akashic wisdoms that I've lived and I've held and I've mastered, and I've worked with in great excitement and great joy. And one of the awakenings that happened a couple of years ago was my awakening to angelic sound. And part of these high vibrational harmonics that I've come to know and come to understand through my inner work is that consciousness is very much ignited and inspired and activated, is more the right word, through tonal harmonics. And so tonal harmonics, along with ancient light language, the one that I'm specifically connecting with is not only the galactic universal light language, because everybody speaks light language differently, and it's meant to be that way, because we're such a diverse, multidimensional community now that's awakening. But the one that I'm most connecting with is the universal light language that is threaded predominantly with sacred you are language. And it's one of our most original languages in human form. And it's sown with light language. So there are intonations and vibrations within the language that move within nature consciousness, that move within the crystalline grids, that are now hooked up and anchored universally. So our universal ascension councils, like the councils of light, many other councils, the Galactic Federation, many, many councils that are responsible for sharing light encodations, for offering ascension encodations and light, so that we are constantly maintaining a vibration that will continue Gaia in the momentum of fifth dimensional rebirth. And so, not that there isn't fifth dimensional energies already here on Earth, because there are, even some 6, 7, and 8, but it's not maintaining that level of vibrational consistency, because we're also mixed with varying degrees of 3D energies and the very transmutable fourth dimensional. And so it's really exciting that I get to experience and express and explore who I am as a harmonic energy conduit through Source Creator. I attune to Source Creator at my divine sacred heart, and I attune with the divine sacred Gaia and all of the energies that I prepare with. So they're all threaded in one when I create sounds and tones and harmonics. And it's in that unconditional trust and sacred play and joyful play, those are the vibrations, for expansive evolutionary play And we say it over and over and over again. And it's so important. People are always asking, well, how do I maintain my vibration or get higher and higher? It's really, truly sacred joy and sacred play, and living that vibration of unconditional trust, source living through you. You'll always be guided, and it's not necessarily make work. It's allowance. Letting go of all resistance of who you thought you were, and opening up to the all that you truly are, and really playing. This is why I've been so inspired, and my teams have been empowering me and encouraging me just to share in whatever way that I'm inspired to. Whatever inspiration that comes forward to me, I'm going to put it out there, because it truly does move into the collective consciousness matrix, the consciousness foundation, which are vibrations of energy and awareness that the heart and the souls of those awakening, even not yet awakened, put out and say, I'm excited to learn about galactic first contact. I'm excited to learn about my Pleiadians. I'm excited to learn about nature on this planet and how we can help. So all of those heart impulses are sent to the collective. The collective soul's energy goes into the galactic and the universal, so that the councils then say, Earth is ready for this. Earth is ready for that. The collective is ready for this. The collective is ready for that. Because we're all threaded with source. Those source impulsations, those source encodings, source field, the source all, we're all a part of it. So those pulsations send out, and why you always connect with synchronicities that are there when you need it. And they're happening faster and faster. My son and I yesterday were talking about learning about the eye, the structure of the eye and what the eye really does. And within seconds, we clicked on something that was totally unrelated. And something popped up that said how to heal your eye. So these synchronicities are really happening at profound rates when you're in the flow of source, just allowing yourself to be source, allowing yourself to know you are source, and how can you play. So this is why I wanted to create this beautiful, fun, weekly reading, entanglement. Our intentions for these settings are for those who so desire to play with us at a higher vibrational way, through which we learn about the consciousness, energies, wisdoms, and unconditional love through Gaia, through all that she is, her spirit with us. So it's really a communion with Gaia energy, learning about Gaia, exploring Gaia, for she is within us. Source Creator also. Our excitement to entangle and dance with Source Creator, which is my beautiful sacred passion that I've written my book about, the dance with creation. And the beautiful sacred journey that the soul's exploration truly is, the soul's evolution in awakening to the entanglement and the aliveness and the majesty and the uniqueness and the beauty and the softness that truly is who we are. And why I'm so passionate about teaching and offering what I can about the sacredness of really all that we're supported and swimming within and dancing within. So the intentions to be with Gaia, entangle with her on a quantum, multidimensional way, will be this fun, tarot experience of all of those who are so excited to learn about Gaia energy and Gaia wisdom and Gaia energy. So we ask that you, with this in your heart and you're excited to play with us in this way, just allow your feet to be grounded on the sands and soils, and just create a beautiful, loving, soft intent to open your divine sacred heart and move with us in these multidimensional infinity cycles of information, because there's a circuit of energy and wisdom, and it's in the shape of an infinity symbol that moves through the omnipresence, that moves through your divine sacred heart down to the sacred heart of Gaia. So just open up to that beautiful sacred knowing that there's always wisdom moving in and out and through you. And as you open psychically, as you awaken psychically, intuitively, you'll feel bits of information and deposits coming into your field, into your higher mind. And then you'll be inspired to act and behave in different ways. And our passion is to awaken the sacredness of who we are as energetic divine beings of light, connected with the all, living and creating as the all. And also inspiring the beautiful, divine, sacred, crystalline children, so that we behave in sacred ways and we allow that to be the emulation that they see in us. For as we are, we open up the potential for all others to also shift and change their perspectives and perceptions into a higher vibrational potential. And so we'll be musing with a family healing, because these energies are also how we rebalance within ourselves as individuals. And as we do, we offer that same vibration to the family. And so we'll do 2 spreads today, and they'll just be really quick card pullings, and we'll read the energy off that card from one deck for Gaia, and the other deck will be for the family healing totems. So thank you. This is fun. Never done this before, so this is the first. So welcome to the first Universal Love Light, Gaia and Family Healing Entanglement. We'll probably call it something different, but I had a beautiful musing this morning, but as soon as I got down to the cards, I get excited every time I see cards, so it kind of went out the window. So thank you for tuning in, and just feel your heart open and just your soft and loving intent. I connect with the highest beings of love and light and the beautiful divine Gaia consciousness, so that I am open to the energies and the wisdoms of all that is offered for the highest and best of my path, as well as the highest and best path of the all. I am open to wisdoms. I am open to the beautiful healing energies. I am open to the wisdoms that I carry within me. I am open, I am allowing, and I receive. Wonderful. So those are all shuffled. Oh, beautiful. So this card, all of the decks, most of my decks, I shouldn't say all, but most of my decks, I have many, are by Alana Fairchild. I love her tarot decks. She has a very profound goddess energy. She understands the dynamics of sacred tribes and moving about sacredly upon the planet. And this is one of her more recent decks. It's called the Earth Warriors Oracle. And it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. And I actually also have a few beautiful paintings of the artist, Mariposa. She's on Etsy. You can find Mariposa's artworks. And she does beautiful, beautiful artwork. And I've got many of them around the house. I just fell in love with her art. It really resonated with me vibrationally, her art. And this, the medicine horse, this medicine horse energy, and I'm going to beautifully connect with Gaia. So thank you, Gaia. I'm just going to hold this up here just because it's such a beautiful card. And the card itself says progress on the path. And we're going to connect with Gaia and the consciousness of Earth. Yes. Yes, dear. Many of you feel as if there are such journeys, so many journeys that you've taken. Many of you have been on the path for so long. Many of you feel at some point exhausted. Some of you feel challenged. Some of you feel at odds. Some of you feel raring to go. And so allow yourself to know that wherever you are in your journey, it's all well and good. Because every moment is a preparation for what is to unfold based on who you are in this moment, allowing yourself to be, which Joanna has allowed herself to open into the profundity of wisdom that is held within allowance, the profundity of flow that is held within allowance. For I have sat within the belly of this beautiful orchestration. I've been calling and crying, and I have been singing in joy. I've been held patiently by the galaxy, by the universe, being fed and blessed and nourished in information, in encodings and light. And I have often offered the energies to join me in this dance through which we have all experienced, for there's nothing that you have experienced that I haven't. We have been one in this journey. As you walk through my forests, as you play within and upon the waters, we are one. There is not an aspect of me that I am not felt. And when you feel the complete exhilaration in your playtime, know that it is our dance together, for we are threaded. For the elements within you are all that I am. And there has been no mistake, for the Creator understands what goes together. What goes together to allow benevolency for growth, for expansiveness. You see that it's always been a grand design. Nothing but anything that's been left out, if you will. But it's been the perspectives that you've held about how separate you are from the dance that is occurring in all moments, this quantum flow of wisdom and love, the benevolent movement of love that you are so gracefully held within. One cannot feel this dance. One does not even know about the dance to put their foot in and say, I want to join. If they're not assuming, if they're not open to the vibrations of life and love and rhythm that's held within all things. For there is a rhythm of the forest. And how the consciousness of life within the forests upholds, maintains, and sustains that rhythm, that beat. And how within that, the rhythm and the beat of the grids and your energies that you send, the love that you send and play and entangle with, for it reaches my heart, and then my heart back to a new cycle through the infinity that I am threaded with, moving to creation and the many councils and consciousness that assist, planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy, universe to universe, for there is no end to these infinity threadings, dear ones. So will you play? Will you dance? Will you know that your journey is perfect in this moment of now if you allow it? Will you understand that the trees and the flowers appear to you when you need them? And the music that moves with nature appears when you need it? To add the differentiation, that contrast, that push and that pull, so that there is always movement within the journey. For allow yourself to visualize yourself upon a beautiful horse that symbolizes the freedom and the journey and the endurance and the stamina and the strength of all that you are as a being of multidimensional love and wisdom to carry humanity in the most greatest triumphs and the beauty and the gentleness that it is. And you're upon this horse with a beautiful sacred joy just to be in one on a new adventure. And upon this path you are offered many hurdles, many challenges to move around, to navigate. For there might be a high running stream, there might be weather conditions, there might be forks in the road, there might be a point through which, dear ones, in which we offer you now, that the path seems to come to an open clearing, where the path just completely opens up to something grander and bigger, in which there is no laid path. Do you see what we're saying? That the path that has winded you through the forest and over the mountains and around the mountains and over the streams. But now this path is completely ended and open to an open field, where it's you and your choice and your allowance of who you are as spirit in human form gets to choose and carve your next step. So as you are aligned within the heart of all that you are, you're always making progress, always. Even in those moments where you're standing still and wondering and pondering at the profundity of what lies before you into the unknown. What step? How joyful. And perhaps, just perhaps, you just might want to play. Perhaps you get off the horse, and perhaps you allow the horse to loosen the saddles, to take off the luggage, to just let go. And you take the bridle off and the reins. You want that horse to feel as free as you feel, just being brought to a new open field of potentiation that is beyond your imagining. That as far as the sun is, so too are you. That as far as the land is, so too are you. That as far as nature can see and find and offer and bless and gift, so too are you. For remember, this dance is with me, with you, with all that is. And all that is offering it to you for the pure joy and the bliss and the love of who you are as a creator within it. There's no question about your abilities. There is no question about your wisdom and intelligence. For there will be moments where there is no instruction manual. There might not be a path laid out. For you are a master and you are here for a reason. You're ready for the wisdoms before you that are held within, igniting you. Progress in the journey might be something completely unseen, unknown, where you just take the saddle off, unhitch the reins, and let go. And you'll be blessed with a new open field. You will be blessed with a new free running stream. It will be unlike anything ever seen and done and experienced, for you're the first one, are you not? And you look behind you and you see there's other people on the horse too coming up. They've got their own horses and perhaps even other animals. And they're excited because they felt the vibration just to go. And somehow you've all managed to be at the same opening in the field because the vibration has called your hearts to the same and similar journey, but yet different and unique all together. And here you are. Not one, but two, but three, but four, but five in the crowds. And the animals and the life and the excitement and the vibration offers something new. And the landscape changes within a moment because you do. Your heart opens to the unknown with excitement. Your heart opens to the journey with excitement. Your heart opens with others joining you in the excitement. For this is, dear lighted ones, and we say with great pause, this is your sacred journey. How could it be otherwise? For you are blessed with open field after open field, and open sky after open sky, and open waters after open waters, and gardens upon gardens upon gardens of love. And you may be the first one to navigate such unknown. Through allowance and the love of your heart, you'll always be guided. There'll always be progress of the journey, but it might not look anything like what it ever has. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with the blessing that you are to take such a mantle of light? Are you okay to be that one? That as you look back, all others are looking to you. What do we do? Never been here before. What do we do? And there's nothing more exciting in your heart than just offering your hand and hugging them all and saying, why don't we just dance? Seems like a good thing to do. And the horses and the animals and the insects and the birds and nature converges to sing you a song. For you're all tuned in now, aren't you? For your hearts are singing now, aren't you? Your hearts are actually bringing the vibration of that tonal harmonic of the collective up to a new frequency and sound. And you just start singing and toning and dancing, and your hands start moving about. For that changes the grids too, doesn't it not? For you got threads and threads and threads and layers upon layers of energy. And sound helps you move it all out, smooth it all out. In the consciousness of the grass and the flowers and the bees. And all that is love and excitement upon something new just wants to create with you. Because the child in you, the one that has that humility and reverence for all life, all that is sacred that God has blessed, Source has blessed, Gaia has blessed. And here you are on the leading edge. And you step into that open field, dear ones. The consciousness of the all wants to dance and play with you. And you have the consciousness matrix of the all blended and showing itself through you. Every step you take, every dance, everything that you are inspired by, your higher mind is guiding you through your heart. And sound through sound, creation through creation. You're allowing yourself to know there's always a new thread. And the song begins and the dance begins anew, even into the unknown. Now I know I am entangled. Now I know I am entangled. From the roots and from the dirt and from the soul of Gaia to the top of the tallest tree, to the clouds and to the stars and to the galaxies beyond. I am one. I am. We bless you, dear ones, for you each on a unique journey that brings all of you together at the same point at the same time. Don't worry about the how-tos, all things will work out. Trust in your heart, you got to dance. Trust in your heart, you got your song. Trust in your heart that you are Creator Source. You will be guided into love. You will be guided into sound and dance and song. Trust it, for you know what's within you. So as you're in nature, open up your hearts. What do you feel? What do you sense? What do you know? For you're tapping into the soul of all that you are, don't you know? Many lifetimes, many roles, many wisdoms coming to life right here and now. The vibration of love, aren't you? Love carries all. Trust in that, dear ones. Trust in that. And you are loved. Divine grace from Gaia. Thank you, dear ones. Thank you, dear lighted ones. That's lovely. Thank you. And that allowed us to truly feel the energies of what many of us are moving on as far as the new journeys, and how some of us are just finding that we're moving about as we always have, but things are changing and shifting. Our skills are becoming more amplified. Our gifts are becoming turned on and tuned in at a frequency that's sometimes faster than what we think we're ready for. But what I've been shown and told by my teams is that you're always going to receive, and you're always going to be activated for exactly what you're ready for. It's just a matter of having trust and faith in who you are, and allowance is huge. Letting go of all resistance that we've had about the limitations we've set upon ourselves by the definitions we've held, the smallness that we've held within ourselves, and allowing it to truly open up into the vastness of our spirited, higher frequency allness, the soul essence of all that we are now, moving in unison with the love and the graciousness of Source Creator and all of the ascension energies and love that we're blessed with. So again, center yourself in love. Let go of what no longer fits. Let go of what is not serving your vibration of liberation, what's not serving your vibration of simplicity. Let go of what's not serving your vibration of self-honor and self-sacredness in the home, in your own temple. Let go, and you'll see those vibrational threads being offered anew. Whether that's to excitedly get on and create a podcast that you've never created before, or whether that's, just stopping to tickle your kids, whatever it might be. These are the inspirations of the higher dimensional threaded consciousness. And you might not think it's a lot, but one thread leads to another thread. And the next thing you know, we're weaving complete consciousness templates, which is what I've been shown. And so it's so exciting and wonderful. And so this deck is a beautiful deck. And I'm wondering if I have the book, because I don't know the name of this off by heart. Here it is. This one is by Jody Bergsma. It's a beautiful spirit animal oracle, and it's gorgeous. Beautiful. And this will be our healing energy card. And I've done some shuffling here, so I'm going to see what one is coming up. And these are general energy messages, but they have vibrational offerings for those who so desire. And so if you're open to it, you're going to get something out of it. That's just how it is. Because that's universal quantum energy. There's always an offering if you're willing to open to it. And so this vibrational card is, oh, how lovely. I've never received this one before. And this one is a beautiful snow leopard. And this snow leopard just is perfect with the vibrations that we had from Gaia. So as you can see, it's all connected and it's beautiful. And this one is about the independence and how it's important that we move with conscious awareness about who we are as individuals. And that's using our own inner truth and our own inner integrity. What's true for us? And we're finding that a lot, and those that I've been connecting with lately, is they're coming to these points in their relationships and those points in their time line where really having to reflect upon the relationships and what's working and what's not working. Because some people have taken the relationships as far as they can go, and there's a vibrational need to change and to shift. Or it might be within diet. It might be within what we're doing in the family house. Are we planning too many activities? Do we have? Are we creating that sacred time for one another, that we talk and we share and we just snuggle and we connect intimately? And if those are not being met, if that's an inner truth that's important for you because you know that it provides balance to the kids, it provides balance to the family, it provides balance to the inner temple of the home. And if those things aren't working, then there's shifts that need to occur. And that's where that inner integrity and holding your value. And when you do so, you create boundaries that align with your inner truth. And this is something that we'll probably talk about at another podcast all separately, because it's such a big topic that many people are moving through. And it's about understanding vibrational boundaries. Because we are opening to the soul self, we're finding and we're feeling and we're really feeling the entanglement of varying fields of energy, and how to set boundaries within yourself so that you feel strong and you feel empowered who you are as you're moving about life in such varied degrees of vibrational offerings, varying degrees of vibrational awakeness and understanding. And just with what's karmically being released from Gaia, over the next couple of years, there will continue to be the variances. So how do we set those boundaries? How do we understand our own vibrational field and anchor and own our own field of light, so that we don't feel as if we're being really beaten, back and forth with energies and really struggling with those frequencies. So I've been through many experiences with that because I'm such an empath, and I'm very intuitively tuned into not only the collective grids, because it's part of my role to teach and come forward, is to connect and entangle with the children collective, as well as the human collective, as well as Gaia consciousness and the universal consciousness. So my frequencies of empathic intuitiveness are turned on and heightened. So it's been quite a ride the last 6 months, but it's allowed me to garner information, feeling into what I can feel into, and then put it into words and illustrations and resources that, perhaps will help others, But it's important, because sometimes you can beat yourself up for things that are merely resolved through observation and allowance, and just owning your own field of light and maintaining it through clearing, through balancing, owning, understanding who you are as a multidimensional being. And teaching the children this too, because they're highly intuitive and empathic. And so sometimes when they feel and look exhausted, it's because they really are. They're entangling with so many different energies, and they don't know how to put it into words or explain it or understand it. And so this snow leopard allows us to understand that it's okay to own that strength and walk within it, and know who you are as a being of intelligence, as a being of light, as a being of energy, to truly own it and know that you, in all that you are, you can have that self-empowered wisdom to walk within your power, and to know that it's okay, because I posted something on SoundCloud that was the Christ consciousness. Jesus had come to me. I was seeking some information and some vibrational energies and wisdoms about power, because humanity has really never had any real role models of sacred power and what that means, and how to, as we've talked about before, that sacred trinity, which is love and source at the top point, and then the male and female on either points, which is what we all work within as a sacred trinity. And it's a constant spiral of moment for moment experience through which we're always balancing that will and that power of the male frequency, that intelligence and will and getting it done strength, and then that female frequency, and why each of us are moving through those experiences through which we can understand who we are better, and better bring into balance, the beliefs that we've had about owning our power, especially many of the dynamics of the male and female that have been out of balance in many different arenas. And to own it with a sacred softness, which is what the source energy is. It's unconditional love, soft. It's always soft. When you connect with source, it's soft. It's unconditional. And to truly move about life so that we're honoring that power. That power really does help you create those energetic boundaries so that you're not being pushed and pulled and torn upon. And so that's been a huge, powerful lesson for me this past 6 months, is really honoring power, how it relates to your destiny, how it relates to your standing in your light, how it relates to you walking in self-reliance as you're letting go of things that don't necessarily move within your new sense of truth of who you are, your new awakening of your excitement of who you are, your new value of who you are as a being, valuing your body, valuing how your body is treated, not only by you, but by others. It's really important. And that's what each and every one of us, through our relationships with Gaia, through our relationships with one another and ourselves with Source Creator, how we're moving through these relationship reflections to assist us in becoming those multidimensional universal beings through which sacredness and reverence and value and self-love are truly the foundations of who we are as a collective. Compassion, self-caring communities that we're setting up and we're magnetizing and attracting, as the first part of Gaia's energy taught us, that we'll just be where we are and we'll see the sacred community around us. And those are vibrations sent from our heart. I truly desire sacred, loving relationships in which I'm honored. I truly have that feeling as if people honor me and value me. And I need to emulate that. I need to radiate that, because that's from my heart. That's what I'm magnetizing. And I must show it. I must behave it. I must speak it. I must be that vibration, and I know it will come to me. And that's that relying upon yourself, relying that you do have the wisdom. And we teach this to as great lessons, now that we understand we're multidimensional beings of vibration and love and light, that they're beautiful, powerful lessons of, be the vibration and offer that as your story, offer that as your highest lesson in your teaching to your children. Because if we're not walking it, we're not talking it, we're not emulating it, we're not radiating it, what example are we setting? And this is all new. So it's not like you're going to get it perfect. And even if you think there is an ideal of perfection, for me, the ideal of perfection is the Christic ideal of perfection means all moments are perfect. And that's what Jesus had come to us a few months ago about the blessing of perfection. But the expectation that humans have is to raise the bar to a certain level and say you must get all A's. That's perfection. Well, in actuality, all moments are perfect, because all moments show you that in all moments, in your awareness and in your allowance, you can allow everything to be gracefully accepted and allowed and honored for what it is. It can be honored as a triumph if something goes really great and spectacular and you've manifested exactly what you want materially or physically or energetically. It's all a triumphant. Even if something is a really big challenge and you feel as if you're at your lowest or your most challenged, vibrational, I don't know what's going on, whatever it might be. I've been there many, many times. I can teach what I teach and I can offer what I offer because I've been there, done that so many times. I understand the threadings of moving within self-sacredness and allowing your mastery to come forward. Because there is really a perfection within every moment. There can't not be that source. And it's in that allowance, that sacred trinity, that you're always going to feel the flow of back and forth and how to maintain your center so that you're owning and claiming your power. And you're doing it with that compassion and grace that is that source alignment, that Christic vibration, so that we become the most compassionate, evolved human collective that we've ever been. And this is what the collective of the crystalline children are coming forward to show us and teach us. That it's okay for them to be uniquely different in all the ways that they are. And that it's not for us to place them in any box or define them in any one title or label or dysfunction. Our ideas of dysfunction are their creative uniquenesses that come forward, that want to be liberated into that free open field, for the most part. I mean, don't we all? Really, And so, for the healing of the family, this is a beautiful energy to take forward in however you want to play and muse with that. Self-reliance and self-integrity. What is your truth? What is your truth, and how can you emulate and radiate that truth that feels good for you, that higher truth? Because when we feel something that doesn't feel right and doesn't feel like, this doesn't feel like what I want to be right now. This is, that's out of alignment of who you are. So that's aligning. Well, I need to speak my truth so that others know that this is my new truth now. It's a bit different than it was before, and that's okay, because you're going to move through lots of different varying truths as well. But this is my new truth now, and this feels good for me. So let's talk about it. What do you feel about that? And have that conversation and that exchange. That empowered, aligned with love, respecting all that I am as love, as I respect you as all as love, and wonderful and beautiful, and a Christed, beautiful source child. And then that compassion. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your your love for me, your care for me, your not understanding me. Let's have a talk. Because this shows how we emulate and radiate those moments through which they're going to go into reality and have those compromising conversations too, of respect and integrity, and valuing other people's truths, valuing the truths and the way that others move about their life when their truths change, because it's essentially what's going on in our entire social system right now, where everything is being deconstructed to raise to a higher truth level. And we need to begin within the home so that these conversations take place here, so that when there is change in the social systems, that they know how to work it out. They know how to come to the table with the greater good at the center point. What is going to satisfy the entire family? How will this work within the entire family? And come forward with what your higher truth is right now. And allow that exchange to go back and forth, as opposed to the old ideologies of what we've thought, the running of the house should or could be. It's more of an open temple where you're all able to explore all that you are, all that exists within, and what you exist within as divine source beings. And it's an incredibly huge shift of dynamic thinking and behaving and living sacredly in an open, trusting, loving, caring, compassionate environment. And it takes practice. It really does. That's why we thought it would be fun to come forward with these beautiful weekly offerings. So let us know how you feel. Let us know your energy vibrations and what your feelings and intuitive sensings are. I'd love to hear your comments about when you were opening and awakening to Gaia wisdom and Gaia information through our sessions. And what did you feel in your field? Did you feel the awakening of wisdom, or maybe throughout the week? Maybe you'll have a dream. Maybe you'll get out into nature and you'll do some journaling or some writing. So feel the excitement of who you are quantumly. Feel the excitement of who you are multidimensionally with Gaia. Feel the excitement of reflecting upon self-reliance, and how will that work within your week to emulate self-reliance. Speak and know a certain truth. Maybe it might be a truth about health. Thinking about the multidimensional bodies, the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the etheric. Maybe coming forward with a new self-integrity truth about your energy work, or what you feel about energy, and maybe speaking about it. All of that is allowing you to be truly who you are, and relying upon you, as spirit, as source, knowing that your wisdom is within. You're honoring who you are within. You have all the answers to move about life in all ways, as we all do. But now we're going to rely upon who we are as spirit, as intelligence, as wisdom, as love, and move forward with it. And how it feels comfortable. Because I said to I often offer, we're moving through such tremendous change. And I've been one of the ones that I've just been so hard on myself, and I set the expectations for perfection. And that's part of the crystalline energy. is that the very highly acute mind that just overthinks and over perfects everything. And I've been like that since a child, and it's come into quite, exhausting. I know what I know. I know I'm smart. I know I'm intelligent. Just relax and let it just be. And I don't have to change the whole world. I don't have to change everything, because it's just my perspective, but it's important to know that, as we're all moving through this dynamic change and everything's shifting, you'll feel all these big awakenings. Well, that was my truth yesterday. What's my truth today? And it feels totally different. Have that be okay. And it might not be that you do anything about it. Have that be okay too. It might be that you might do something a week later, because sometimes, and this has happened to me, is that I get all of these downloads in my dreams, my meditations, or things that I'm writing out through writing channeled writing. And I just have a whole books of things that I'm inspired to do. I'm really creative, inspired to do, or shift or change in my life. That's a higher truth. I've got all these higher truths. What do I do with them? How do I integrate? And really, I need like 10 personal assistants to get all these higher truths in order for me, so that I can actually just live it. But that's not how life goes, right? You've got kids in a house, and you've got shifting from a 3, 4, or 50 frequency. What's important is that you open up your heart and you have that daily reflection and that daily communion time with Source and with your higher soul self. And you say, what can I do right now that makes me feel really good? Well, today it's really important for me to speak my truth about honoring my body and rest. So my higher truth is having a nap. Everybody's got to be okay with that, and that might just be your higher truth for that day. Have that be okay. Because you're not expected to just take all of your ascension higher truths and put them into action and overwhelm yourself and then just shut down. Been there too. And that's not, there's no expectation from creation or Source or your higher self or your guides. I mean, there's so much that we're doing, and we've come so far. And the creation and the universe and the heavens, everybody's celebrating. So just whatever that higher truth is that moment, it might be shifting an eating habit and baby steps. Baby steps make the most profound shifts in your energy. You say, yeah, I can do this. And then you just cut out sugar, because that one baby step was enough for you to say, I can do this. And I've got my legs now. I've got that confidence now. I can do this. You've got that voice. And that's what that whole snow leopard is for me. It's about understanding that things are shifting so dramatically, and have whatever you're in that moment be okay. Because it might be that one baby step that just takes you to that next profound. And get away from that judging of little and big and small and stuff. Have everything be okay. Because your inner self will tell you right now it's really important that you rest. Because you're going to make change after change after change after change in the next 3 days. So be okay with it. So, and there's always, just ending with this, because my team is just reminding me this is just what I've come off, is a huge cycle of soul growth. Moving into, as you release denser energies, the higher soul self of you is feeding you higher light quotient, higher light, so that the soul of you expands. Remember the sacred geometry of the Metatronic cube. So you're a point on that cube. You're a point that's moving through a new movement of Metatronic shift, light quotient, light within the body, light within the consciousness. And so as you release the denser particles of your soul that you're connected with, that's connected with the other aspects of your soul, that soul is also feeding you higher light, so that you feed those lower aspects higher light through love and compassion and gracefulness. So give yourself compassion when you're releasing things that really seem big or small, however you want to define it. Doesn't matter. There's no weight given in the soul's idea of, big and small, cutting out a cigarette a day or smoking, whatever it might be, So just understand that's that light feeding from the higher soul aspect of you as you're moving through your awakening soul ascension process, your light quotient, light embodiment process, light body manifestation, whatever you want to call it. And just know that you're also feeding light to those aspects that are being released and transmuted. So every time you go through a karmic release, or those releases that we can subtly know and feel, you're ready to let go of feeling less than. You're ready to let go of feeling lack. Those are all lifetimes or imprints that you're transcending of the soul. It's part of you. It's part of your soul. Whether it was persecution, it doesn't matter what we call it or define it. The soul of you is feeding you light so that you can make that observation, awareness, and acknowledgement, and your allowance to be who you are. So you're acknowledging, I love you, you're all of me, I love you, you're all of me. Feeding that light, it goes on and moves on to your bigger soul self. You're then moving into a bigger light quotient soul self, and it continues. The spiral of light evolution. Yay. So we hope that's helped. Not sure how long this has been, but thank you so much for connecting with us and entangling with us for these weekly inspired Gaia entanglements and family activations for living sacredly and living in joy and in love. So thank you, dear lighted ones. This is Joanna from Universal Love and Light, signing out, and namaste, and we love you deeply and dearly.